You're listening to Cross Rhythms Plymouth 96.3 FM, and I've got the privilege, it's always a privilege to have you in the studio, Steve, being joined by Mr. Steve Wheeler. Hi, Steve.
Hi there, Dave.
Great to have you here. Steve is absolutely no stranger to the radio, a regular presenter, actually, of a show called Poets Corner. But we're not going to talk about that specific. Well, we're kind of tangentially talking about that. We're talking about the Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase. It's an event we've got coming up very soon, this June 2024, 20th of June. We're really excited. Steve's going to be performing at it. How are you feeling about the event, Steve?
Very excited, actually. It's almost Midsummer's Day, isn't it? It's one day away. And I mean, it's going to be a very light evening, hopefully a nice evening, and hopefully a lot of people have come along to it. So I'm really looking forward to sharing some of my poetry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what I was going to say. It is tangential to Poets Corner. It's kind of why we've got you there, our poet in residence, going to be performing live. So what can people expect from you on the Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase?
A bit of light, a bit of dark, a bit of knockabout humour, a bit of participation maybe, and some spiritual stuff as well. A bit of everything.
Look at that, a bit of everything. And that's kind of how we're advertising it, really. It really is going to be a bit of everything that you guys enjoy about Cross Rhythms. We've got some wonderful bands. We've got Our Atlantic Roots playing live. We've got Will Allen playing live as well. Will being a Plymouth-based artist. In fact, you know him through church connections and things, Steve. But So the poetry aspect, we're really excited about that. It's going to be live poetry. Some people refer to it as kind of spoken word performance. But what do you love particularly, Steve, about performing poetry like that? Because obviously there's lots of stages to poetry. You write it, you enjoy writing it, you enjoy reading it like to yourself in books and stuff, but performing it, what's kind of unique about that, and what are you looking forward to bringing to the showcase?
Normally I would perform poetry through social media, through Facebook or through another platform, and I do that quite regularly, but you don't get much back apart from a bit of comment coming through the comments section, do you? When you're actually live, like I've done on, things like festivals. I think I performed at several Cross Rhythms festivals, and also once on main stage at Greenbelt, would you believe? In front of 24,000 people. Now it really is a buzz, because everyone's sat there looking at you delivering these words. There's no music necessarily behind it, but the words are enough to actually grab people's attention. And if they interact with you, if they start to participate and start shouting the lines back, now that's really quite fun. And they wait for the next line and then shout it back. It's almost like a kind of call and response type thing you can do. Totally. So that really is quite magic when you've got the audience on your side.
Yeah, that's really good. So in terms of this event then, the sorts of poems you'll be doing, I know you've said a little bit, it's a bit of light, a bit of shade, but do you have a kind of particular book you're going to be reading it from, or what are your thoughts as to what you're going to be bringing?
Well, one of the books that I will be reading from is a reissue really called Sacred, which in itself, the word sacred, it's a 6-letter word, which if you rearrange it has many, many different versions of it, a different kind of what's the word when you change the word around and make it into something else? An anagram.
Yes,
there you go. That's the word. And I'm going to be reading from that. There are several poems. I think some are familiar with people because I've read them already on Cross Rhythms Radio, but others maybe not so familiar. So I'll be reading from that, and maybe from one or two other books as well. A book called Ascent, which was a book full of love poems, either love found or love lost, the agony of lost love and the joy of, finding love. Yeah. So there's going to be one or two from that, and one or two surprises maybe as well. That's
going to be really good. And, as we've kind of mentioned there, Steve is a published author. If you listen to Poets Corner any amount of time, which, by the way, you can hear on Monday mornings from 8 a.m. and Wednesday afternoons from 3 here on Cross Rhythms. So you can check those out. Also on our social medias and stuff, you'll be able to catch up on various different poems that Steve's done. We've videoed those as well. But as a published author, you've got a load of books. You're going to be bringing books with you. Tell us a little bit about that, because people will be able to get some signed copies and things like that on the day as well.
Yeah, I guess I can bring one or two books with me that were recently published, and if people want a copy, they can come along and buy a copy. And some of the money from that I will put towards supporting Cross Rhythms Radio, because what people don't realise is that it's very voluntary and very much funded by people's donations and by people giving, freely and willingly. So anything that we can do to help by selling some of the poetry books, a little bit of that money can go towards supporting what we do in the radio studio.
Perfect. Really, really good stuff. Well, look, we're really excited. Do get yourself tickets. The place to go to find out more. I mean, there are a few places, to be honest. The main place is if you go to Eventbrite. If you've been to any events online these days, you're probably au fait with Eventbrite. But Brite, search for Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase on there. You'll find our page. You can get tickets. Tickets are free. We're not charging you to come in. Come and enjoy it. Have a great time. As Steve said, if you want to donate when you're there, that's absolutely great. But come along, have a good time. Get yourself some tickets. Tickets are limited as well, so they will go. So don't miss out on that. You can find out more on our website as well. We've got a whole page about it. crossrhythmsplymouth.co.uk/Plymouth. And you'll see the Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase there. Or just use your search engine. Search Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase and it will come up. Find out more. Get yourself along. It's at the Worship Centre, which is in North Plymouth. On Plimbridge Road up there. And make sure you go onto the Eventbrite, get yourself some tickets. Join us for the Cross Rhythms Plymouth Showcase on the 20th of June. Doors open from 7. It's going to be great.